Hello and a good day to all of you. Welcome to this IGCSE pre-release material Feb March 2022 video. This is the final video in the set of 4 videos that I have made for the Feb March session. It's advisable that those who haven't seen the earlier video can refer to those before you get back to looking at this particular session's video. To begin with, in the last video, task 3, part 1, we had seen the first part of task 3, where the name of the winner along with the winning score was getting displayed. Now, the second part and the last part of task 3 are the 4 options. I'll just read. There are also options that display each player's score for each hole, the player's name, and the whole number of any score of 1 for a hole, the average score for the round, and the average score for a hole. So we'll try and complete this 4 options. I'll try and explain you in this video. Now, the first option is every player's score for each hole. Now, before that, we'll have to put in a menu. So there are 4 output statements displaying the 4 options, and a choice is taken from the user. Now, the bottom part of the pseudocode is your validation check that if the choice is any value which is below 1 or above 4, then it is considered as an invalid entry, and the person will have to re-enter the choice. So that's the validating part. Now, moving on to option 1, players score for each hole. Now, as you remember, there were 3 players, John, Pooja, and Yasmin. And scores 1, scores 2, and scores 3 were their respective arrays, where their individual scores for a 9-hole round was stored. Now, when the question says players score for each hole, what they actually mean is that you have to display their individual scores. Like in case of John, on your screen, it should display the name of the player John along with his score 3, 5, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 5, and 2. Now, what you see on your screen are the arrays scores 1, scores 2, and scores 3. These are internally inside the memory. They are not getting displayed. We have to create the pseudocode to display these scores. So just for reference, just for understanding, I've just put up the scores on the screen, but they are not in the form of an output. They are internally stored. Okay. Now, on your screen is the pseudocode. So if the user enters his option as 1, that means he wants to have a look at all player scores. So there are 3 players and each player will have 9 scores. So for 3 players, you'll have 9, 9, and 9. 27 output will be getting displayed. So for displaying this 27 output, I have used a for loop. The outer loop, the for loop will be displaying the name of the players, which will work 3 times because we are assuming that there are 3 players. And the inner loop will display 9 output because the assumption that we have done that it's a 9-hole round. So for each player, there will be 9 different outputs. So 9 threes will get 27 scores. Now, the initial value of I is 1. So the name of the first player, John, will get displayed because of this statement. Followed by Z equal to 1. So this loop will work from 1 up to 9. That means 9 times the while loop will work. Now, if the input is 1, that means if the value of I is 1, that means we are trying to display the score of John. Because this particular name loop is being referred to as I. So if the value of I is 1, that means we are interested in displaying scores 1 array. If the value of I is 2, then we are interested in displaying details for Pooja's array, that is scores 2. And the third, if the value of I is 3, that means we'll be displaying the scores 3 array, which is for Yasmin. We are assuming that there are 3 players playing the game. At the most, you can have 4 players. So hence I equal to 4 has also been added. Now, if the value of I is 1, what you'll see on the screen is the whole number, a message whole number, followed by the value of z, which to begin with would be 1. So whole number 1, and then another message score and the respective score of that particular player. So if you look on the screen, if you are displaying the first output, the output will look like the player name, which is John, followed by whole number 1, scores 3. Now what is this 3? It's the first score of John. Same way when the loop continues, you will have whole number 2 score 5, and same way this loop will work 9 times. So finally for John, you'll have a score scored a whole number 9 score 2. Similarly, when I increments I becomes 2, that means it will display the details of Pooja, her 9 scores, followed by all the 9 scores for Yasmin. So this was option 1, players score for each hole. Now suppose the user chooses option 2. The option 2 was player's name and whole number of any score of 1 for a hole. That means you have to display the name of the player along with the whole number where the player has managed to put the ball into the hole in one single stroke. So let's see, for example, if you are talking about John, his array is scores 1. And for the third hole, he has managed to put the ball in just by a single stroke. So your output will show player name as John and whole number as 3, because that's the third hole where he managed to put the ball in using only one stroke. Similarly for Pooja, there are no such 1 for a hole scores, but for Yasmin, we'll have 2 such scores. So here your output would be name of the person would be Yasmin, followed by hole 1 and hole number 5. So I hope the question is clear to you. Let's see the output. This is the pseudocode. If the user chooses option 2, again, there'll be multiple loops. If you look at this loop closely, you'll find that this loop, this entire pseudocode is the same as the option 1 pseudocode. The only difference here is that rather than displaying all the answers, we are displaying answers only for those where the score is 1. So only this if statement has been added for each of the scores array. So if there are 4 players, we'll have 4 such arrays. So this is the only change from the previous pseudocode of option 1. Here the difference is we don't have to display each and every score, but we have to display the score of only those where the score sheet shows the value 1. So if option is 1, that means if you are interested in displaying for the details for John, then only those details where the score is being displayed as 1. So I hope this pseudocode is also clear. So let's move ahead to the output. If you see the output, name John and hole number 3, because the third hole he has managed to put the ball in using only one single stroke. And same, if you look ahead for other scores, Yasmin has also managed to score it in one shot for hole number 1 and hole number 5. So this is how your output will get displayed. Moving to the third option, average score for the round. Now, when we are talking about the average score for the round, if you remember in my earlier video, video number 2, I had shown you how did we calculate the entire total for each and every player. Like say for, if I go back to the previous slide, if we are looking at the scores for John, so 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 3 blah 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 will give you a total of 27. So same way for Pooja and same way for Yasmin, you'll have 3 different totals. That means that total scores for the round. Now they want to find out the average score for the round. So finding the average is pretty straightforward. You have to add up all the totals and display an average for that. So it's a very short pseudocode. If the option chosen is 3, now the loop will work for as many times as many players are there. So in our question, we have 3 players. We have assumed 3 players. So the loop will work thrice. I have taken a variable called as grand score, which will give you an overall total of the score. So initially the value of grand score is taken as 0. Now inside the for loop, I have put in a statement grand score plus total. So the first total is 27. Grand score is initially 0. So 0 plus 27, your grand score will change to 27 now. Once the loop repeats, you'll have already you have a score in grand score of 27. So 27 plus 31 will give you 58. Again, when the loop repeats, grand score is already 58 now. 58 plus the third total, that's 18, will give you a total of 76. Now, when you're out of the loop, your average score would be 76 divided by 3. That is the total number of players. And once the average score is calculated, you'll get an output on the screen. The average score for the round is whatever is your answer of 76 divided by 3. So that's your third option. Moving on to the last part, average score for a whole. Now in the previous option, they were asking us average score for a round. So we took the total. Now here they're asking us average score for a whole. That means on an average, what is the score for putting the ball into the hole for the first hole? So say for example, if I want to find the average for the first hole, I'll have to add up the values which have been selected in the rectangle. That's 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 0. If there are 4 players, since the 4th player is not there, the final score sheet is all zeros. And add up these values and find the average. This is the pseudocode. If the option chosen is 4, your loop will work as many times as many holes are there. So while x is less than equal to holes, yeah, so I've used a while loop, x less than equal to holes. There are 9 holes. We are assuming that the round is of 9 holes. So first time it should add up the 4 scores from each of the 4 sheets. So scores 1 x. Now the value of x is 1. So it will pick up the first index positions. So 3, 4, 1 and 0 will be added to the total hole variable. After that, your total hole is 8. 8 divided by number of players. Number of players are 3 in this case. So it will divide by 3, and that will give you the average hole for that particular hole, which will get displayed on the screen. Then automatically the value of x gets incremented. X becomes 2. So scores 1, the second index position is calculated. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 0, you'll get another total, which when divided by number of players, you'll get the second average. And so on, you'll get all the averages. So in short, you'll get 9 different answers. One answer for each hole, the average for each hole. So you'll have 9 such answers. And finally, the loop will stop and the option 4 will be done. If the user chooses any other option other than 1, 2, 3, and 4, he'll get a message output incorrect option. Although this thing is not necessary, because for any incorrect option, we have already done the validation check. So even if you ignore the else part, it would be absolutely fine. You had 4 if statements, 1 for each option, hence 4 end ifs. And that would be the end of your task 3 part of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.